Abstract. This article explores how organizations can cultivate a thriving learning culture, which is crucial for success in today's knowledge-based economy. It defines the key dimensions that characterize a learning culture based on an analysis of relevant academic literature. Practical recommendations and examples are then provided for establishing organizational commitment to learning, facilitating open dialogue and inquiry, building collaborative team learning, fostering a systems perspective, and empowering employees towards collective success. Consulting and research experience across industries illustrates the immense value learning cultures provide through increased innovation, engagement, and performance. The article serves as a guide for leaders seeking to assess their current culture and identify opportunities to foster lifelong learning at every level within their organization. Cultivating a learning culture requires strategic priority and sustained effort, but, as evidenced, can future-proof companies in dynamic business environments. As a consultant and researcher focused on strategic organizational development and change management, I have observed firsthand the immense value that learning cultures provide. Through my experience working with dozens of companies across various industries, it has become abundantly clear that cultivating a thriving learning culture is crucial for long-term success in today's fast-paced, knowledge-based economy. When employees feel empowered and motivated to continually learn and improve, it leads to increased innovation, engagement, performance, and ultimately better business outcomes. Today we will explore what constitutes a true learning culture, supported by relevant academic research. What is a learning culture? Before delving into how to cultivate a learning culture, it is important to define what precisely constitutes such a culture. Marsick and Watkins, 2003, define a learning organization as one that learns continuously and transforms itself. At the core of a learning culture is continual learning at both the individual and organizational levels. Young et al. 2004. A seminal definition from Ellinger, 2005, described 5 key dimensions of a learning organization culture: commitment to learning, organizational commitment to an investment in learning, dialogue and inquiry, promotion of open and inquiring dialogue, collaboration and team learning, team-based learning and collaboration across departments, embedded system perspective, seeing the organization as interconnected systems, empowerment, empowering people towards a collective vision of organizational success. These dimensions form the foundation of what differentiates a true learning culture from other types of workplace cultures. Cultivating commitment to learning. The first priority in cultivating a learning culture is establishing clear organizational commitment and investment in continual learning at every level. Research has shown that support from senior leadership is crucial in forming this commitment. Markwood, 2011. Young, 2014. Leaders must role model a passion for learning through their own behaviors and actively champion its importance through communications and by allocating time and resources to it. As Rouge, 2014, found, learning is most effective when leaders view it as a strategic business priority rather than an optional expense. p. 28. Some specific ways organizations can show commitment include providing dedicated learning and development budgets, not just for formal training but also conferences, seminars, and other enrichment activities, offering tuition reimbursement or subsidies for employee education programs, creating internal learning communities, mentorship programs, and rotation opportunities, openly sharing lessons learned from successes and failures. For example, consulting firm McKinsey & Company is renowned for its commitment to continual learning. It offers associates generous tuition reimbursement and encourages ongoing educational opportunities through rotations, mentoring circles, and an internal university. Frieger et al. 2003. This level of investment signals to employees that ongoing learning and skills growth are truly valued. facilitating open dialogue and inquiry beyond commitment. Research underscores that promoting open dialogue, inquiry and knowledge sharing is essential in learning culture development. Ellinger, 2005. Roosh, 2014. Slater and Cawthorne, 2008. Leaders must establish psychological safety so employees feel comfortable openly discussing ideas, questioning current practices and trying new approaches without fear of ridicule or punishment for mistakes. Edmondson, 1999. Regular communication forums, both formal and informal, should be provided where employees collaboratively reflect on challenges and successes. Some structures that can foster this include company-wide presentations of current projects to get feedback, learning fairs showcasing employee innovations, suggestion programs for improvement, ideas, hack weeks for experimenting with new solutions, after action reviews following major initiatives. For example, at global design firm IDEO, psychological safety and open dialogue are hallmarks of its culture. Employees are encouraged to brainstorm freely and provide critical feedback through open studio spaces and informal critiques. Kelly and Kelly, 2013. This has led to a steady stream of innovative products and solutions, building on collaboration and teams in addition to individual and whole organization learning. Cultivating collaborative, cross-functional team learning is pivotal. Senge, 2006. Slater and Cawthorne, 2008. When employees learn together, it multiplies the knowledge generated and fosters greater organizational learning overall. Edmondson, 1999. Leaders should break down silos by mixing up project teams and requiring diverse perspectives. Incentives can also be used to motivate collaborative behaviors. Some collaborative learning structures organizations employ rotating team assignments to build diverse networks, cross-training programs to learn other roles, interdepartmental problem-solving groups, team-based incentive and recognition programs, communities of practice around shared interests. Technology manufacturer 3M, for example, purposefully facilitates collaboration through open plan workspaces and tech forums that bring together experts from various units. Allen, 1998. This has powered many unexpected innovations through serendipitous collaborations. Seeing the big picture finally, to fully reap the benefits of a learning culture, organizations must ensure employees understand how their roles connect to the bigger strategic picture. This requires a systems perspective, seeing the interdependencies between functions and roles. Senge, 2006. Leaders should clearly communicate organizational missions, strategies and challenges up and down the chain. Performance management programs can also link individual goals to overarching strategic objectives. Some ways to foster systems thinking: new employee onboarding covering the full organizational strategy, company intranets sharing organizational updates, metrics and vision, job rotations exposing employees to multiple organizational layers, top-down cascade of corporate strategic plans into departmental plans at manufacturing company Barry Wemiller. Town hall forums and pulse surveys keep their 4,000 employees globally immersed in company strategy and goals, a level of transparency which has lifted both performance and cohesion. Musawi, 2017. By seeing the whole, employees become more invested in overall organizational success, empowering towards collective success. Finally, learning organizations empower their people towards a shared vision of success. Garvin, 2000. This means providing autonomy to experiment with new ideas, learn from mistakes, and take responsibility for work. Trusting employees as problem-solving owners of their work sparks motivation and commitment to continual self-improvement. Martenson, 2000. Markwood, 2011. Some empowering strategies include delegating ownership and accountability as far down the chain as feasible, leadership coaching and mentorship vs top-down directives, performance reviews focusing on development more than conformance, allowing employees Flexibility to self-direct some work hours. Take technology company 3M again. Their empowering culture of managed creativity motivates employees to spend 15% of work time on self-directed initiatives, resulting in over 30,000 new products in their history. Allen, 1998. This level of trusted empowerment fuels passion for solving problems through learning. Conclusion. In today's ever-changing business landscape, cultivating an organizational culture committed to continual learning offers a sustainable competitive advantage. As the research and examples described have shown, when organizations foster psychological safety, collaboration, access to strategic thinking, and empowerment, it sparks intrinsic motivation for growth and unleashes the full potential of its people. For leaders seeking to future-proof their companies, proactively cultivating a thriving learning culture should be a top strategic priority. I hope these evidence-based recommendations serve as a useful starting point to assess current strengths and growth areas within your own organization.